Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
We have 2 people out.
Okay, we'll try this again. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Present.
Mr. Cirillo,
Here.
Mr. Allen,
Present.
Mrs. Bowman,
Here.
Mr. Kovitz,
He
We had to,
left, yes.
Mrs. Lafferty,
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Sporny,
Here.
and Mr. Sullivan is absent with prior notice.
If everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The board met in executive session this evening prior to this meeting to discuss matters of employment, issues related to labor relations, the purchase of lease of real property, matters related to litigation, and matters related to school safety and security. Are there any announcements?
There are no announcements.
Superintendent's report, I do have a couple of comments that were left for me. The artwork that's on display this month comes from Schweitzer Elementary, Maple Point, and Sandburg Middle School students. So as you're in here, if you can peruse around to see all the great work that the kids did. The lessons explore elements and principles of art such as line, color, composition, texture, and form while expanding on techniques, materials, and processes as the students advanced year to year. At this point in the year, students have now had an opportunity to use a variety of art material which provides a foundation to begin mixed media compositions. It's Read Across America Week. This week, February 27th through March 3rd, is the nation's largest celebration of reading. Diverse stories provide kids with different perspectives which help them see how others think and feel and help them see where reading can take them in the future. Literacy activities will take place across all content areas to help spark a love of learning and reading. Excuse me. Epic Battle of the Red and Blue. It is the 69th annual gym night. Begins this Friday, March 3rd at 6:30. Continues on Saturday, March 4th at noon, with a finale on Saturday night at 6:30 p.m. The event is sold out. So everybody who's going, I hope you enjoy it. This is also the last week for Chick-fil-A at Neshaminy. And if anytime you go there, if you say red or blue, whichever team has the most will get a point for their Spirit Award. And last but not least, Saturday, March 11th in Gym 3 at Neshaminy High School is the Harlem Wizards. Game time is at 7 p.m. For tickets, go to neshaminy.org/wizards. And that's all I have on that. Don, is there any public comment?
There are no public comments on the agenda items.
Okay. Yeah, we can do them.
All right. Lisa Sullivan,
Yes, just hit the button, yeah.
Hello, my name is Lisa Sullivan, and I'm here to speak on, I'm not sure if I'm doing, if there's a format to this or I just speak. I've never been here.
Name, area, reside.
Okay, my name is Lisa Sullivan. I reside on 556 Neshaminy Street, Pendle, Langhorne. So I wanted to bring to your attention, and I've tried to reach out to the school district multiple times over the last year and a half for help for my daughter. She has a condition that I provided 3 medical doctor notes for, and also a physician requested 504 plan for my daughter. And the school district has denied it, stating to me, "We don't see what you see." And I said to them, "What do you see?" And it took them at least 4 to 5 emails later for them to tell me what their observations are. And the observation that was given to me was they compared my child to somebody else, to boys actually, then to girls, and stating they felt that because she was like other girls, that I don't really want to say what it is because it's sort of some private information, but they denied it. And because of the same medical condition, my daughter has been admitted into CHOP, where she has remained now for the last week. And I have a lot of concerns about that. I honestly feel that this was neglect and abuse by the school district for not following the recommendations of the physician. And I asked multiple times for help. And at one point, they started restricting me from taking my daughter out for school and for any appointments. And then they made another restriction that I couldn't take my daughter out from school unless they asked her father. It's not in my custody order, although they did cite that as the reason why at first. And I had my family attorney call the school district's attorney, and the school district's attorney and my attorney agreed that it didn't have to do with my custody order. So then a week later, they said, no, now it's because we feel that it's necessary. When I spoke to the secretaries at the school district for attendance, they said that they don't do this for anybody else. So I can't imagine why they would be doing it for me. They haven't told me that there's a reason for it. I've never done anything improper. I've never done anything wrong. As a matter of fact, I volunteer here at Neshaminy. So, and I've given a lot of time, my effort, and money to help the music department here, and I feel like I've always done a good job in helping people, so I couldn't imagine why they're treating me this way. And nobody will give me an answer, and nobody will tell me why, but I can tell you that my daughter is in the hospital because of this, and no one will talk to me, and nobody will tell me why. And I would like to know why. I have another thing that I'd like to discuss as well.
Ms. Sullivan, your 3 minutes is up right now. If you'd like to speak at the second public comment, you're free to do so.
I would, thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
I'm sorry, there's no one else.
Thank you. Mr. Cirillo, please.
I would like to make a motion, excuse me. I'd like to make a master motion to approve 2.01 minutes, 2.02 treasurer's report, 2.03 check register and procurement card purchases, 2.04 investments, 2.05 exonerations.
Seconded.
There was a motion on the floor. It was seconded by Mr. Allen. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. I'd like to make a motion for 3.01 retirements, resignations, end of assignments, 3.02 leaves of absence, and 3.03 administrative appointments. There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I would just like to point out for the retirement, Mr. Medico is retiring after 15 and a half years. We thank you for your service. Is there anything else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Ms. Lafferty?
I'd like to make a master motion under personnel, 4.01, retirements, resignations, end of assignments, 4.02, appointments, 4.03, leaves of absence, 4.04, revised leaves of absence, 4.05, revised returns from leave, 4.06, sixth section appointments, 4.07, co-curricular resignations, 4.08, co-curricular appointments. I would like to piggyback to 4.01 for those retirements and thank them for their service of 20.8 years and 29.8 years.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I think I forgot 4.09. So I would like to,
You have to amend your motion.
I have to amend my motion?
Yes, you have a motion. And he would have to second the amendment.
I'd like to amend my motion to include 4.09 ancillary appointments. Carlos, thank you. Good.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? Thank you for catching that. Couldn't say their names. The retirees, Patricia Fisher, 20.8 years, and Diane Geiger, 29.8 years.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Cirillo?
I would like to make a master motion to approve item 5.01, retirements, resignations, end of assignments, of which I want to take note, Michael Berkins for his 33.5 years of service to this district. Thank you very much. 5.02, appointments. 5.03, leaves of absence. 5.04, revised leaves of absence. 5.05, ancillary appointments.
There's been a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please? Second. Second by Ms. Bowman. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Kovitz had to leave. Mr. Rodriguez, will you read 6.01, please?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion for 6.01, Sunday facility usage. Whereas according to Board Policy Number 800, facilities fields may not be scheduled on Sundays without school board approval. Now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves Sunday usage for Neshaminy High School boys soccer teams, which has requested Sunday usage for Maple Point Middle School's auditorium on Sunday, May 7th, 2023. And Langhorne Neshaminy United Soccer Club has requested Sunday uses for Maple Point Middle School soccer fields on Sundays from March 20th, 2023 through August 31st, 2023.
There's been a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Allen, please.
I'd like to present a motion from the floor. 6.02, the refunding of 2015 Series A and C bonds. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached resolution to refinance existing general obligation bonds, Series A and C of 2015.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please? Second. Second by Mrs. Bowman. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Mr. Irwin, if you could give us a brief.
Yes, these bonds are now available to be refunded. And it's approximately $40 million worth of outstanding debt. And if refinanced today, we would receive the proceeds of the refinancing of approximately $1.5 million. So they will not be able to be actually go to market until July 1st, but we're taking the steps necessary now to have ourselves ready and hoping that the interest rates remain favorable to do this come July 1st.
Thank you, Mr. Irwin. Any other questions or comments from the floor? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Sporny, please.
Sure, I'd like to make a motion, 6.03 NHS Field Project Change Orders. Whereas the Neshaminy Board of School Directors approved and hired Field Turf and M&W Precast LLC to improve the Neshaminy High School athletic fields, and whereas in any construction project, there may be change orders which need to be approved. Now therefore be resolved that the Neshaminy School District authorizes the District Business Administrator to authorize the attached change orders, subject to review, revisions if necessary, and approval by the district solicitor, with 9 change orders attached.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Again, Mr. Irwin, if you could just give us a brief rundown of what this is.
Yes, this is related to the fields project that we have going on at the high school to improve the athletic fields. And these change orders have come as a result. There's two large ones at your place tonight. One is a credit of $668,000, which is now taking off the area where the field house was to be being created and built at the same time. But unfortunately, due to delays, that work is not yet out to bid. It's actually going out to bid in next month of March of 2023. And in addition to that, we have a large change order for electrical power supply improvements due to the same reason. The electrical supply was to initially come out of the field house at the same time the fields project was progressing. And because of those delays, that all had to be redesigned, and those are part of these change orders that are before you this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Irwin. Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Rodriguez, please.
I'd like to make a motion on 6.04 Builders Risk Insurance. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached quotes for Builders Risk Insurance. Files attached.
There's been a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Allen, next two.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor, 6.05, elementary school at the Maple Point campus change order. Whereas the Neshaminy Board of School Directors approved and hired an architect and construction management company for the new elementary school on the Maple Point campus, and whereas in any construction project there may be change orders which need to be approved, now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy School District authorizes the District Business Administrator to authorize the attached change order with Gilmore and Associates Incorporated with a revised date of January 19th, 2023, subject to review, revisions if necessary, and approval by the district solicitor in an amount not to exceed $15,400.
There's been a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. 6.06.
Put a motion on the floor, 6.06, construction testing and inspection services for the new elementary school. Whereas the school district is proceeding with the project designated as the new elementary school on the Maple Point campus, And whereas the soft costs included in the construction estimate allocated funds for required testing services during the period of construction in accordance with estimate attached. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of School Directors approve an agreement with Geostructures, Inc. at a not-to-exceed cost of $183,000 for the testing services needed during the course of construction. Be it further resolved that the business administrator be authorized to execute the agreement after review and approval of the board solicitor.
There's a motion on the floor. I will actually second that. Excuse me. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Sporny,
Sure, I'd like to make a motion 6.07, settlement of Maple Point area road improvements. Whereas PennDOT has commenced condemnation proceedings for various properties in connection with its road improvements along Bridgetown Pike, Woodburn Road, and Langhorne Yardley Road. Whereas portions of the real property identified along Woodburn Road and Langhorne Yardley Road on the attached plot plan are owned by Neshaminy School District, in parentheses, district, and whereas the district secured its own appraisal at no cost and PennDOT has agreed to pay the district $142,000, representing the just compensation due the portion of the property identified on the attached plan under the PA eminent domain code. Now for it be it resolved that the district hereby approves the attached settlement documents and authorizes the board president, secretary, and administration to execute the attached settlement documents subject to final review and approved by the district solicitor with 2 files attached.
there's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mrs. Bowman,
I'd like to make a motion, a master motion for 7.01. Student settlement agreements, 7.02 homebound instruction, 7.03 out-of-district placements, 7.04 overnight trips, 7.05 student service agreement with Wood Services, 7.06 Beata school nursing service agreement, 7.08 BCIU number 22 board appointment, 7.09 BCIU number 22 2023-24 program and services and instructional materials and research services budget, and 7.11 the 2023-24 school year calendar.
there's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mr. Rodriguez,
I'd like to make a motion on 7.07, block scheduling consultant agreement. Whereas this agreement is made between School Schedule Associates, 5872 Wyant Lane in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the Neshaminy School District to provide consulting services for block class scheduling for high school students. And whereas SSA agrees to provide 5 days of on-site high school consultations and up to 10 hours of virtual follow-up sessions between September 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby enters into the attached agreement with School Scheduling Associates in the amount not to exceed $25,000. Files attached.
there's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bowman. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. Mrs. Bowman, please.
I'd like to make a motion, 7.10, reaffirm COVID-19 health and safety plan, whereas the Neshaminy School District is required by the U.S. Department of Education to approve a health and safety plan. Now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby reaffirms the Neshaminy School District Health and Safety Plan as presented, subject to any changes necessary due to the conditions and additional guidance from applicable government agencies. And there's a file attached with the health and safety plan in there.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Vote passes 7-0. That brings us to the closing of the meeting. Is there any other board business that anybody would like to discuss? Is there anything else we need to know about, Mr. Earl, that we're forgetting?
No, ma'am, not at this time.
Okay. Second round of public comment. Please approach the podium. 3 minutes. Area you reside, name, no personal attacks. So if anybody would like to approach the podium.
My name is Lisa Sullivan. I'm from Langhorne. I am a resident here. I just want to bring to the board's attention, and I'm not sure if it's something you've known or you haven't known about, but Martin Sullivan was not residing in the district for 7 months during the course of his board membership. I don't know if you call it that. I know that there is a Pennsylvania legislation, 1943, Act 14 states, once elected, a school board director must remain a resident of said region for the duration of their elected term. Also, the school director, this is the board policy of Neshaminy School District. It is 000 local board procedures, also states that wherever a school director is no longer a resident of a region, he or she elected to present his or her eligibility to serve on the board shall cease. That did not happen, and I know that Irene Boyle was notified of it, Adam Kovitz was notified of it, John Tarenti was notified of it, and also Rob McGee was notified of it. I was approved to volunteer for my daughter's team, and 2 days later, I met with Rob McGee about this, and Rob McGee told me he did know, but that it wasn't his responsibility to tell you, the board, because it wasn't his responsibility. And I said to him, I believe that you are the superintendent of the school, and it is your duty to uphold the policies of the district. Shortly after that, and there were more conversations and more things happened in that meeting. Shortly after that, he escorted me from his office, and he had John Tarenti call me. And John Tarenti told me that it was okay because it was a while ago and he was okay with it. Martin Sullivan told me when I asked him, did you tell the board? And he said, oh yeah, I told them all, they all know. But they said that I was too important of a board member to let go. So also around this, 2 days after I met with Rob McGee, I was paused on my volunteering with my daughter's team. And then shortly after that, the doors shut on any care from, requested by her team, medical team. So I am just deeply disappointed. And I could probably say more, but I'll just...
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to approach the podium? Board comment?
I just want to wish the athletes that we approved going out of for overnight trips, looks like they're going for championships. I just wanted to wish them well and good luck to them, and thank you for representing the district and the high school. And mention gym night, that is this weekend, right? Okay. Lots of going on. I've kind of lost track of it coming up. I wish everyone a fantastic gym night experience. It is always the highlight of the year, and go Blue Team. I'm not supposed to say that, but I always have to.
I also want to wish everybody a great gym night. Enjoy yourselves, be safe, and go Blue.
I've said enough about gym night over the course of the last couple of meetings. So with that, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cirillo. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.